Hey everyone, I'm glad you could join us. We have snow on the way. We are going to be under a winter storm warning at 9 o'clock. So we just wanted to join here live with you to connect with you, just to talk about some safety, preparedness stuff to keep you and your family safe, but also let you know what we're doing as a police department, including your public works team and your emergency services. But let's get into it. Let's see what we have uh, forecasted for our area, which really it's about 2 to 4 inches of snow. We'll start to see the snow tonight, likely around 10 p.m., maybe around 11 p.m. start to fall. We expect to start having road impacts just after that snow begins to fall because it's been kind of cold out. So the road temperatures are already cool enough and they'll cool quickly once those snowflakes start to hit. So you want to get all your errands done by tonight and hopefully be home tonight by the time those flakes begin to fall so you're not caught out in this weather. So if you look at the map, the little green circle is where Mount Juliet is, and the weather service has us forecasted for about 2 to 3 inches. We've seen some forecasts with it even higher than that. You know, you never really know when you're trying to forecast the snow for our area what we will get, but we do know we're going to receive something. And on the low end, they have us at an inch. On the high end, they have us at 4 inches. So it'll be interesting to see how much we get. Rich, I'm taking a poll with you. How much snow do you think we'll get? Let's see how accurate you're going to be.
Well, my optimistic side is I'm hoping we get a foot, but
A
my
foot,
realistic side is I'm thinking about an inch to 2 inches.
an inch to 2 inches. I got you. Those that are watching live, let us know in the comments how much snow you'll think we'll get. What we will get though, it's going to be super cold, so it's going to stick around for a while, and they don't think it'll clear up till likely Saturday when temperatures begin to be above freezing and the sunshine comes out to help melt everything that is out there. So it'll be interesting to see. I know we'll probably see plenty of families out sledding and enjoying their time out and about. So type in the comments, let us know what you think. Have Ashley here. She says we think it's going to be 5 inches for the area. So let's see what else you have for us. But looking also at the onset, here's a different timing that they have for our area, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. I think we really start seeing something more on the 11 p.m. Side of that for us in Mount Juliet from what we've seen lately from the different models that show this snow approaching us. Rich had radar earlier, and it's not far away. Now, what you see on radar may not always be reaching the ground just yet because the atmosphere has to get saturated enough so that moisture can hit the ground. But it's not far off. And tonight, around 10, 11 o'clock, we'll probably see snowflakes flying in our community. But just want to talk about some safety things real quick before I turn it to Rich. I know a lot of families will be out sledding, and we see these year after year related to those sledding injuries. So you got to be careful if you're out sledding. And for parents, know where your children are sledding. Be careful that it's not on a road where there's also going to be cars. I've seen children sled down hills and hit mailboxes, uh, becoming critically injured and have to be transported to the hospital. You also want to check the path of the sled, especially like on a grassy hill, to make sure there's no debris under that snow that you could hit on the sled. So walk the path that you're going to sled down and really stay away from where the cars are going to be and just do it safely. Dress warm, you know, bundle up. You get wet and cold when you're out sledding, and take breaks to warm up. And always, we just advise parents to supervise your children while they are out sledding. But I truly hope it's a good time for everyone to enjoy. I'm not a fan of the snow. I like it to snow about one time a year, and we're done with it. Rich is a huge fan of the snow, being from the Chicago area. So, Rich, I think this snowstorm is for you.
Absolutely.
Some people are saying 6.2 inches. Charlene has a 4 inch prediction. So who knows? What we do know is going to impact our roads, and it's going to be hard to travel early Wednesday morning. We do expect to have the rush hour be impacted Wednesday morning. A lot of places are already closing. The schools have closed. Mount Juliet city offices have closed. Other businesses have already closed for tomorrow, just so everyone stays home tomorrow and you don't have to worry about getting out on the roads on those hazardous road conditions and trying to make your way into work. Now, we understand too that there are people that have those jobs that keep everything running around us, right? Your firefighters, EMS, your police officers, your those in the healthcare field, those in other important operations that keep everything running so we can enjoy all the nice things that we have in life, right? So we understand that y'all have to get out on the road. And that's why our public works teams have been working so hard out there already. They're already brining many of the roads. You've seen our state roads have been brined, the interstates have been brined, and even our city main roads have been brined as well by our public works team with the city. They have 5 trucks in operation, a 24/7 operation for them. They're already at it. They'll be at it through the night, all through the day tomorrow. And they have 4 trucks on main routes, and those routes are already pre-planned in tier 1 and tier 2 routes. Tier 1 are the routes that need to be cleared. Then tier 2 are those secondary routes that are also cleared. Then they also have 1 emergency response truck, which is helpful to us as police and our fire department teams, because if there is an incident somewhere, that emergency response truck can respond and help clear the path to help get the ambulance to the scene, help get our police officers to the scene, or that fire truck. So life continues when we have these incidents and these storms, and so we know we always have to be prepared to be ready to respond to those incidents. So it's going to be a lot colder than it was this last snowstorm that we had. So the melting will not be as fast. The road clearing with the snow last snowstorm went a lot easier and a lot faster than we normally have experienced because the temperature hovered right around that 32-degree mark. This snowstorm, the temperature is going to drop very low in the single digits. So it really has a hard time melting, and the salt and the plowing only works so much in those super cold temperatures. So we will likely see it clear up a lot slower than we did this past time just because the weather is just colder. But I'm glad to see they're out there pre-treating the roads. It was super helpful that last go around that we had. So, Rich, what do you got for us for safety?
Yeah, one of the most important things a lot of folks don't think about is planning ahead of time and right before the event, even a few days ahead of the event. Folks, you can always pre-plan no matter what type of weather it's going to be, whether it's winter weather, severe storms, whatever. But in this case, for winter storms, a couple of days ahead of time, we've been talking about whether it's been us talking about it or the weather service or your TV news or wherever you get your information. We've been talking about it for several days up to the last week. So you should have been already starting to get some of your stuff together, make sure your fuel tanks in your cars are full, have some supplies ready for in your car, especially an extra blanket or an extra jacket in case you were to get stranded somewhere. Make sure your smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors have fresh batteries in them. Because if you are running extra heat in your home, you don't want to cause an accidental fire or have a carbon monoxide poisoning in your home. And those detectors are great for those things. Day before, that's going to be today. Continually watch for that forecast. Like putting out this extra information like we're doing now, adjust any plans you need now that we've heard schools and city offices are closed. Some of your local businesses might be closed, where you work might be closed. So make sure you have adjustments and flexibility for your plans. Make sure you have multiple ways to receive warnings and information. NOAA weather radio is always going to be one of the best if you have availability to one. Otherwise, keep your cell phones on and charged, and make sure you have your emergency alerts turned on. Those emergency alerts will get to you when they start issuing any additional warnings or emergency information. And make sure you have your pets inside where they can be warm. Because remember, even if you have them outside in a nice house or structure for those dogs and cats, their water and food might be cold and frozen, so they're not really being very effective being outside. Bring those animals inside where they can be warm and comfy just like you are. And during and after the event, do everything you can to take care of yourself, your animals, your family, your friends. Check on your neighbors and your family. Of course, take care of you and yourself and your family, most importantly. And then when you have time, and do it safely, get out and check on your neighbors. You don't want to get hurt while you're walking down the street to check on a neighbor. But if you can, check on your neighbors, especially if you know some elderly neighbors or some people that don't have the greatest mobility. Make a phone call at least. Call them and check on them, see how they're doing. Make sure your heat sources are properly ventilated because, again, relating back to the carbon monoxide issues, if you have generators that you're running, if your power does go out, make sure you're keeping them at least 20 feet away from your home. That'll also help with the carbon monoxide issues. And if you do get out and start shoveling some snow, take it easy. Take lots of breaks. Don't overdo it because you can get overheated in this kind of weather if you have all bundled up in your layers and you're working real hard to get that snow cleared what you're shoveling. You can overheat yourself and get hurt that way just as bad as if you were getting overheated in the summer. So take care of yourself while you're outside working too.
Yeah, Rich, that shoveling's no joke. I have a steep driveway, and it takes about 2 hours for me to finish shoveling that whole thing. I almost convinced myself to go to Home Depot and buy one of those, looks like a weed eater, and it has a snow shovel device on the end, right? And you can push it across your driveway. But I didn't, and I'll likely be shoveling it as the snow falls, and so I can get up and down it to get home at night when we do have this stuff. But I definitely need to take it easy and watch. A lot of falls we see with this snow, right? A lot of medical calls related to falls in parking lots around people's homes. So when that snow falls, it's going to again get cold. So it's going to turn to get very icy like for what kind of melts. And be careful. Hang on to some things as you're walking around so you don't just slip and fall. But that's the number one injury during these snow events are just from falls, whether it's elderly or even younger folks. So just be careful, hang on to things, know that what is around your house could be ice or snow, and we don't want to see you get hurt.
Yeah, for sure. We might have some folks trying to wander around in some flip flops and sandals because they're used to this kind of weather more than some of us. But you don't need to be out like that. You need to be in some good, proper footwear, some good boots. Take care of yourself when you're out walking around.
Sure.
And of course, when Deputy Chief already mentioned all the plow teams and salt spreader teams that are going to be out. First, huge kudos to those crews. They do a fantastic job,
Yeah.
and we really appreciate them a lot. But when you're out there and you see those guys and gals out there doing their thing, whether it's our crews or the state crews, take it slow. You know, you driving, you need to take it slow and easy. Make sure you clean off your vehicles, because if you're out driving and you have huge sheets of ice and snow on top of your vehicles, as you drive, that stuff could fly off of your cars and cause damage to the vehicles behind you. We've seen several times in past winter storms where ice sheets and snow sheets will fly off of somebody's roof of their vehicle and damage the vehicle behind them and cause injuries. And that's the last thing we need is a injury wreck caused by an ice sheet coming off of a vehicle. And of course, leave distance between you and the snow plows and the salt spreaders, because the easier it is for them to get around and do their thing, the easier it'll be for them to get those streets clean and be able to get you out and back mobile again. And as we touched on already, don't crowd the plow. Maintain a safe distance for those guys. Let them do what they're supposed to do. If you see one coming at you, slow down when you're going up towards them or they're coming towards you. Generally speaking, the plows and salt spreaders run about 35 miles an hour, which is usually slower than most posted speed limits on main roads. So let them do their thing and stay out of their way. And if you're going to be behind them, give them plenty of room to work. Adjust your speed to their conditions. Don't try and get up right behind them, because sometimes those salts, the rock salt they're spreading, may have some chunks in it. And if you're right up behind them, it could damage your cars. The safest place to drive while you're behind those vehicles is well behind them. That way, the road's already cleared and you can have some better traction.
Yeah, great information, Rich. And we've seen in the past where our plow trucks have had to call for police assistance just to keep cars off of them. So those guys that run those trucks, they're out working for us, trying to get that road clear for us to, get it back out there and have our normal lives about. So just stay clear of them. You're not going to save much time by passing them or riding on their rear end. And just keep it safe, right? And the best way to keep it safe around a plow is far away from the plow, behind it, not trying to pass it. Rich, we've sent out a notice to all of our staff with what we call a tactical alert. That's how we get prepared for any type of winter storm, because there are some winter storms that are high demand on our resources, and there's some winter storms that are low demand. But we always have to prepare for the high demand because we want to be ready, right? Ready to respond to anyone who calls for help. And so we begin to watch all the calls for service that come in. And if we get to a point where we think our calls for service will be overloaded, meaning that there will be a delay in response, we go ahead and call in extra staff. So we will bring in another 12 officers to supplement the current 12 that are already working, just to ensure we have enough people to respond to calls that are occurring out there related to the winter storm, because we don't want people to wait on us. We want to have a quick response. We also want to ensure that we continue to protect our community from those outside influences that cause harm here and commit crime, and really there to support each other as a team. We want to be sure our officers have plenty of help when they're on these scenes to keep it safe, with proper traffic control, or just to help each other respond to an incident. Starting tonight, our night side patrol commander will be watching monitoring if we need to bring in extra resources or not, and then we'll have continual leadership team members monitor the event that are already scheduled throughout the event to ensure that our response remains with excellence, right? We always strive to serve this community as best as possible. And we do that when we have severe weather. We do that when we have winter storms. We do that when we have other type of events that occur in our community. So just know that your police department's prepared. Our staff levels are adequate. We're healthy. And we're just looking forward to the snow. We hope it's safe where we don't have to use those resources. But if we need them, they're going to be here and we're going to use them. Rich, I think you had some radar pulled up, and you can already kind of see that snow coming our way.
Yeah, you sure can. This generally, I'm looking at the state view on this one. Here's the Tennessee River out there by Memphis and Shelby County. And of course, here we are right here in Davidson County, Wilson County. And you can see it's already creeping in Middle Tennessee pretty good. But as you mentioned, some of this may not be getting down to the ground because, you know, a lot of folks may or may not know how radar actually works. But the quick general version, it looks up through the atmosphere. So a lot of what we might be seeing on this is just what's coming down through the clouds and into the atmosphere and not quite making it to the ground yet. But this is a good indication of generally where that snow line might be already making its way. So you see down here, there's a little bit of pink and some green. That's the mixture. The pink is the mixture area where it could be sleet and ice down here in West Tennessee still. But it's a good indicator overall of where that front line is moving through. And you can see up here, it's getting into Montgomery County and Robertson County and Cheatham. So it's definitely making its way into Middle Tennessee already. So be prepared, be well stocked and ready because it's definitely on its way.
Very good. Rich, you want to talk a little bit about MJ Alert?
Absolutely, folks. MJ Alert, if you haven't subscribed already, it's real easy, really simple. You just text the letters MJ to 67283, MJ to the phone number of 67283. And that just automatically subscribes you to our MJ Alert program. You'll get any of the alerts that we send out related to weather incidents or crimes in progress or community events. It's a fantastic program. Doesn't cost you anything, depending on your cell service. You know, if you have subscriptions or anything for your text alerts. But it's a really good program. Keeps you in the know of anything going on in the community. And of course, as we get more updated information on the weather, we'll be able to push it out periodically. But as the breaking news things such as storm warnings and things like that happen, we'll definitely push them out. But it's a really good service, doesn't cost you anything. And it's a great way to stay in the know with what's going on with your police department, fire department, and city government.
Very good. Thank you. Well, folks, if you have questions, type those in the comments. Rich and I are here. We'll be glad to answer any question that you have. We are safe because of you. Love you guys. Appreciate that. And Jean Ann here. MJPD rocks. Awesome. And Vinny with Best Police Department. Thank you guys. We have a great team and they work so hard to keep this city safe. You know, it's amazing what they can do every day. It really is. When you look at the numbers and you see you're one of the safest city, if not the safest city around Nashville and Middle Tennessee, you know you're doing something right.
Quick
shout out. Yeah, go ahead.
Quick happy birthday to one of my nieces, Leanne. She celebrates her birthday tonight. So happy birthday, Leanne. Love you, girl.
Awesome. Happy birthday. She gets to celebrate some snow tomorrow, right?
That's right.
Is that your local niece?
Yeah. Yeah, she got a school day, a snow day for her birthday. So.
Yeah. I remember those days.
And I'll be out playing in the snow too, I'm sure, tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I'll probably be out late tonight, I think, and we'll see what it does for us. Usually at the onset of storms are the busiest for us. People are still out and about, driving around. So we'll see, Rich, what it does for us tonight. I got another important meeting tonight I have to be at, but after that, I'll be watching to see what we need to do.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, everyone, have a wonderful snow day tomorrow. We'll continue to keep you updated throughout the event. I'm sure you'll see me riding around with either Jake or Rich as we just show you the road conditions. that are going on and just giving you an update about the overall response to the event. We hope it's a light one. Starting late at night, it's usually light for us. If not, we will have plenty of staff. Be safe if you need anything at all. Reach out.